We're going to get started. I do want to let everyone know that this session is being recorded. We will use it to post online for other families who are unable to join us. So if you are not interested in being part of this recording, you're welcome to remain anonymous by keeping your camera off, changing your display name, and or just signing off, and know that you will get emailed a copy of a link to view all of these sessions that will be posted on our website. That being said, welcome to our Fine and Performing Arts information session for Lancaster Catholic. We're excited that you are here to learn a little bit more about Catholic High and what we have to offer in the area of the arts. I have some fairly famous people on here tonight with me. Some of my guests. I feel like I'm on, like, what was that show with the questions and all of the people in the blocks? I can't remember, but
Hollywood Squares.
Hollywood Squares. That's what it is. You guys are like the celebrities in Hollywood Squares. We're not going to ask you questions, but we're going to ask you to impart your wisdom about your content areas and what you do at Lancaster Catholic with us. So again, I'm Angela Baumler, and I'm the Director of Enrollment, and I'm excited to throw it over to the head honcho, everybody's boss, Mr. Tony Brill. If you could introduce yourself, please.
I'm Tony Brill. I coordinate the music, art, and drama program at Lancaster Catholic.
How long can you tell us how long you've been there as well as part of your intro, guys?
This is my 37th year at Lancaster Catholic. I was the band director for many years and have been doing this job now for about, 5, 6, 7 years, I think.
And quite well at that, so
Well,
thank you. Next, who wants to jump in? You go by seniority, Paul?
My name's Paul Murr. I'm the band director here at the high school. Also teach multiple music history courses as well, like a music and film course, history of rock and roll, modern American popular music course. I also conduct the percussion ensemble, which it's an extracurricular activity that meets after school. I coach the rock band, and I coordinate all the grade school instrumental lessons. So I've been involved in the Catholic schools now almost 20 years. I'm not a numbers guy as far as how long I've been around. It's been a while.
Just seems like forever, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from the grade schools to the high school, back to the grade schools, back to the high school. So it's been a few years. So yeah.
Thanks, Paul. Michael? Oh, you're muted still.
Yep, got it. My name is Michael Adams, and I'm the choral director, and this is my second year at Lancaster Catholic, but before that, I taught for about 9 years in Lancaster County Catholic schools and the grade schools. I direct the concert choir and the chorus, and I teach music theory classes, and also am the vocal director for the spring musical.
Thank you. And actually, Lizzie, do you mind introducing yourself since you're on here as a proxy for Mrs. Wagner, who actually has a show that started about 10 minutes ago. They started Macbeth. They're in their tech. Actually, is tonight tech, or is tonight the first real performance?
Tonight's the last dress rehearsal.
Okay. So I know that they are finishing that, so she wasn't able to join us. So Lizzie, do you mind telling us a little bit who you are and give us the spiel?
Sure. My name is Lizzie Winters. I'm a senior at Lancaster Catholic. I've been involved in the Fine and Performing Arts department since freshman year, actively involved. I've been in 4 shows since freshman year, 3 musicals and 1 play. I've been in mass choir, participated in vox pop, concert choir, and chorus. And the performing classes I've been in modern American pop music and music theory, and now I'm taking dramaturgy my senior year, and I am the vice president of our International Thespian Society.
Thank you. So actively engaged in the arts at Lancaster Catholic. So we're going to rely on her for a student perspective for some of this as well. So thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm going to share my screen. If you can hold on for 1 second. I am horrible at this, but I think we'll get there eventually. Those who have joined us before know that it takes me a second. So there we go. This is actually, and I'll share, but feel free to add in anybody else, a photo from Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, which I believe was 2 years ago, correct?
No, it was last year.
Oh, was it last year? Okay, I knew last year was funky in terms of performance reasons because of COVID.
The show that we didn't get to perform. But
exactly.
our last dress rehearsal, and we were able to record it. But we didn't get to do our public performances.
So I was wrong. I was thinking it looks so beautiful, and I knew you didn't get to do the show. I didn't realize these pictures were from
And there's
that
Lizzie.
from that recorded show.
She's on that.
I know
photo.
she's
Yeah.
right there, right in the
Right next
center.
to Joseph, as we're looking at it.
Exactly. Well, so I'm going to throw up over to Mr. Brill, who is the leader of this particular program, and he can give us all the goods here. Mr. Brill.
Okay. Well, we are very proud of our program at Lancaster Catholic. We transformed what we've been doing for several years, about 5 years ago, where we focus mainly on just band programs, choral programs, drama programs, and we decided we wanted to try to get more people involved in the school. So our motto with our program is that we have something for everyone, and we truly do now. As you can see, we have over 40 different ensembles and courses that students can be involved with through our Fine and Performing Arts program. When we did that, we thought to ourselves, and even in my years of teaching, we would have students who maybe played drums and didn't want to be in concert band, didn't want to be in marching band, but a kid who played drums and wanted to be maybe like in a rock band, but we didn't have a rock band. Well, now at Lancaster Catholic, we do have a rock band, and Mr. Murr will talk a little bit more about that later. With singing, you basically had a choice of being involved in the chorus or you could audition for the musicals, but that was about it. Now we have some other programs we offer, like our Vox Pop a cappella group. So there are other opportunities for kids to be involved with that as well. In our courses, basically you would take music theory, and then a few years later we added AP music theory, but we didn't really have a whole lot of electives, and now we are filled with electives. One of our popular courses is our history of rock and roll. We have American popular music. This year we just added a survey of musical theater that Mr. Adams will talk about. We've added music and films, which is very popular just this year. Mr. Murr also teaches a world drumming course. So as you can see, there are several opportunities, which is basically unheard of for a school our size. Being a small private Catholic school, basically you would only ever get to do band or chorus, but that's not the case at Lancaster Catholic. And some exciting news, as we prepare our kids with Arts for Life, we've never really had the facilities to match our program, but that was okay. We made do with what we've had because a school was much more than just a building. But proud to say that in the summer of 22, with our capital campaign that we're running right now, we will be building a fine and performing arts center. So we will finally have the facilities to match our program. So you can go on to our school website to see all that exciting news. It'll start this summer with a new STEM lab, and then the following summer with the Fine and Performing Arts Center. We're also very proud that our school every 7 years goes through an evaluation through Middle States Association. And a few years ago, when they were there, the visiting team was there. The year leading up to that, we applied for a program of distinction for music, and we're very proud that we were awarded that program. And we are currently in the process for applying for, through the NAM, the National Association of Music Merchants, for a program, their merit award for support music. So we're we'll know in the spring whether we'll be selected for that. So we're very proud of all of our programs. Mr. Murr, why don't you talk a little bit about the instrumental program?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so the instrumental program, like I said earlier, like I oversee the grade school program in all of our feeder schools around the county. We have 2 teachers out there right now teaching those kids private one-on-one instrumental lessons. But when they get to at the high school, they have really a lot of opportunities. Myself I started playing drums in 4th grade. The reason I wanted to play drums was because I heard Led Zeppelin, and I love the drums. I was like, I want to be in Led Zeppelin, right? Not knowing what concert band and marching band was all about. But eventually really fell in love with those things in high school, and had to do my own kind of drumming things on the side. But at the high school, like Mr. Brill said earlier, the variety of things that we offer is really, it's really awesome. I mean, we have all of our instructors are uber qualified, and I would say real professional experiences. Like myself, doing the concert band, marching band, things I've had experience in. But with rock band, I've been an avid, performer for my entire life, playing in orchestras, playing in rock bands, touring. I have my own recording studio. I've played on a boatload of records. So, bringing that expertise along with what I learned in school about music really is kind of, I think something different that I bring to the table. In addition to myself on the instrumental side, our guitar teacher, Mr. Don Paris, has been in this band with his wife, the Innocence Mission, for years. Critically acclaimed. He's put out a couple of new records in the past couple of years, which he records at his home studio, and then he lives right down the street on Fountain Avenue. But what he brings to the table, as well as the bass player in the band who comes in and helps out from time to time, it's really you're not going to get that anywhere else. It's pretty great. What I like most about what we do, though, is the diversity of what we can do. Being a smaller school, we don't have the 200-piece marching band or the 150-piece concert band. But what we really focused in the past few years, like Mr. Brill said, was something for everyone. So we really invested a lot of time into our chamber ensembles, meaning that means our smaller groups. So we have a woodwind ensemble, a brass ensemble, a traditional jazz band, big band ensemble, but now Mr. List, who runs that program, is also working on some combo groups in jazz. So really kind of branching out into places and things where most schools can't do. We talked about the rock band that I coach. We meet on Fridays during the school day. And then just the other, the other ensembles that we do. I'm sorry, percussion ensemble. I forgot that one. Percussion ensemble is just a percussion-based group that meets after school on Thursdays. We were selected to play at the Pennsylvania Music Educators Association conference a couple of years ago, which was a really high honor. We actually commissioned a piece of music, which means we paid a composer to write a piece just for us. That piece has now gone on to be published by a major publishing company and performed, I know, at least all over the country. I don't know if it's gotten out of the country yet, but a lot of performances on it. And it's kind of cool, like whoever plays that, it says like commissioned by the Lancaster Catholic High School, percussion ensemble. So it was really neat honor that we had from doing that. And of course, we got to do the world premiere of the performance of the piece. So focusing a lot of effort into these smaller chamber ensembles, where I think kids get a better education musically. It's more one-on-one. Sometimes when you're in a huge, a big class or a big ensemble, you tend to get lost. But with these smaller 8, 10, 15 person ensembles, there's a lot of education and towards the individual than the group. So like what Mr. Brill said, is like something for everyone. And the diversity of what we have to offer is pretty great. The World Drumming course is something we just added recently, which is fun. We have our own Brazilian samba band. It's for a small Catholic school is kind of crazy, and we've done a few gigs and events using those kids. We have our own Peruvian cajon ensemble. So we're really branching into different cultures and different lifestyles, and trying to bring that to our little school. So diversity. Yeah.
Mr. Adams, you want to talk about your vocal ensembles and classes?
Sure. So at Lancaster Catholic, we have a variety of different vocal ensembles. The two main vocal ensembles that you would take as a class are either a chorus or concert choir. Chorus is open to anyone in the entire school, grades 9 through 12, and is non-auditioned, so you can just kind of add the course to your schedule and just kind of show up and sing. And concert choir is about 30 students, give or take, every so year. And that is an auditioned ensemble that does take place also during the school day. So you'll have that class every rotation, just like you would chorus. So we basically get to meet every other day for 75 minutes. But that is auditioned. We do an array of repertoire. We also have the Vox Pop ensemble, which meets during the school day and after school, and that's our a cappella group. That is auditioned, but it is open to anyone in the school on an audition basis, and that consists of about 15 members. And we perform at every one of the concerts. There is also our mass choir, which is free to open to anyone in the school and non-auditioned, where we get together right before every mass we have as a school, which is about once a month, and we practice some music together and then sing for each of the school masses. There is also, I'm trying to think, I think that might be it. In the future, I think we've also had a grade school honor choir that would come into the school in the spring for our spring concert to kind of get them involved. I'm hoping to expand on that either this spring or next spring and see where that takes us. We have participated in different outside events, especially around Christmas time. The concert choir has sung at the 12th Night concert, which is a big deal in Lancaster County, where a whole bunch of area churches bring their choirs, and we all sing Christmas music together, and end with a big Hallelujah chorus number of everyone singing together. So that's a lot of fun. We get to represent Lancaster Catholic, and everyone gets to see us. And I think that's everything as far as choral. Did I miss anything?
Nope, I think you're good, Mr. Adams.
Okay.
Lizzie, do you want to talk a little bit about our fall play, spring production, and our drama classes that we have at school?
Of course. Fall play. I did not really partake in any fall because I also play field hockey, but I have been in the spring musicals, so that's been a fun time. Made a ton of new friends, and being involved in so much in the school, like every aspect of Catholic High has really made me like very well-rounded, and I know a ton of different people from different groups of the school. Let's see, classes. I took Modern American Popular Music my sophomore year with Mr. Drackley. Amazing class. Really learned like a ton of different like history music from the past, which was really cool. And like now in English classes, it really relates to like the era of different like social classes, and it's really cool to like see how music ties into everything. But right now I'm taking dramaturgy, which is also really cool because we do a lot of study of plays and just like the history of everything, so that's really cool. Spring musicals, like I said, a ton of fun. They're a lot of work, about 100 hours of rehearsals and everything, but you really see how your hard work pays off, and you learn how like hard work pays off, and you're working like very hard collectively as a group to put something on that you all love, which is performing. It's a family environment and it's a lot of time together, but it very shows our creative side, and like we learn how to overcome our struggles and how to overcome like all the stress and everything, and how to handle it with school, because it is a lot, but you have to also do schoolwork and be everything else you're doing too, which has been nice because I've very involved, so it just helps me keep on top of everything. Looking forward to auditioning for Little Mermaid this year as well. Very excited about that. The one play I have done would have been Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, which we didn't get to perform last year, but I stepped in because they needed an extra actress, so I stepped in and took the part, but it was a ton of fun. Actually had a lot of character development with that role. Ton of fun, but Joseph was also really cool. My freshman and sophomore shows, I'll never forget. Like any shows you do at Catholic or in high school in general, you'll take on into the future, and you honestly can't forget the memories and all the time you spent with the whole cast and crew and orchestra. But yeah, very excited for this year. If you have any questions, let me know.
Okay, thanks, Lizzie. So as Ms. Baumler said, they are performing the tragedy in Macbeth as we speak, and the opening night is tomorrow night. It'll run Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. There are no public performances because of COVID. They're performing for their parents only, and we split that up over all the nights with the parents so that we only have 30 people in the audience each night. But they are recording it, and you can watch it from November 22nd to the 29th for a fee to help us with our expenses. But you can find that link through showticksforyou.com on our school website. And as Leslie said, we'll be doing Little Mermaid in the spring. Hopefully we'll get to do some live performances, but if not, we're ready to go with live streaming again for that. That'll be in March, I think March 19th, 20th, 21st for those performances. So we're excited about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about our art program.
Mr. Bill, can I jump in really quickly?
Go ahead.
And I apologize for interrupting. I will send everyone on this session an email link directly to the Macbeth performance, so that if you are interested, you can go on. It is a nominal fee. My colleagues actually got to see the show the other night because they were doing some recording, and actually that's a picture that's on your screen is actually from Macbeth. So it's actually from one of their dress rehearsals. It is amazing. I snuck in the other day when they were rehearsing. You should watch it. Pay the fee, help support the program and watch the show. You'll love it. It's awesome what these kids have been able to do in a socially distanced way with Miss Wagner. Just to throw a little bit of fuel on that promotional fire for Mr. Brill. These students are amazing. So it's exciting to see that. I can't wait to see Little Mermaid, but I will email everybody the link so you don't even have to go search for it. It's going to come to your inbox tomorrow. So sorry, Mr. Brill, you can carry on. Sorry.
I'll talk a little bit about the art program, our fine and visual arts, but Ms. Balmer told me we're going to set up one of these Zoom sessions with just the art teachers a little bit later. So I'm excited about doing that with them as well. With our art program, we are expanding that program as well. We have our famous Mr. Dick Russell just recently retired, and he's been replaced by Mrs. Susan Ulrich, who is an incredible teacher, so we're excited to have her. But Mr. Russell isn't going away. He's coming in to volunteer at school, along with Mr. Bot Rhoda, who's also a graduate who comes in to volunteer with our students. So he works with our students with graphic and media arts. Mr. Russell will be coming in to assist with students with ceramics and some other things that Mrs. Ulrich won't be doing. Mrs. Ulrich basically teaches the fundamentals of art, studio art, and advanced art. And we are hoping within the next year, maybe even next year, to be expanding our art program with some other courses and some other studio art. So we're excited about that as well. But and we also have a media arts program with the broadcasting and graphic arts with Mr. Jeffrey Stolzfus, who runs our broadcasting team and works with students with the graphic arts as well. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later at that Zoom session. Next, I'd like to talk about our Fine and Performing Arts certificate that we have.
There we go.
There we go. Unless you are coming in as an upperclassman, you'll have a couple years to think about this, because your senior year is when you would decide at the beginning of the year if you wish to participate in the certificate program. And you can see here what the requirements are. But basically, if you are a musician, you have to be willing to perform on our solo and ensemble night, or if you would really like to do so, some of our students choose to do their own full recitals. And we've had several students do that over the years, and we have 4 students that would like to do that this year if we're able to have those performances. Or we'll definitely have those performances. We'll either live stream them or they will be live. But these students will receive a special credential at their graduation certificate for Fine and Performing Arts. So it's something nice to have on your resume as you're applying for colleges and for the future. And it's a great experience. It's not easy to do. I often say on the night of our solo and ensemble night, probably the most difficult thing to do is to stand in front of people, especially when it's not in a facility where you're on stage and you can't see the people. We do it in our band room where the people are right in front of you and have to perform. It's sort of like getting over the fear of standing up and speaking. Having to stand up and perform like that, a solo work, is not easy to do, so they certainly deserve a special credential for that. So that's something to look forward to if you're interested in doing that your senior year. Next slide, you can see some of these ensembles. Now, we talked quickly through all these, but now you can see them up there on the slide of all the ensembles you can participate with: concert band, marching band, rock band, samba band, the Spring Musical Orchestra, the guitar instruction that we have in the jazz band. Also with ensembles, we have the guitar and string ensembles that perform together. Mr. Murr talked about percussion and woodwind and brass, and then smaller chamber ensembles that we do. We also had, this is something we started about 5 or 6 years ago. We would talk to the students about taking private lessons. You know, the students take lessons in their grade schools, and when they get to the high school, they get so busy and they're going, so some of these kids do sports and they do music, so they're going from soccer to band, or even football to band, or they're doing basketball in the spring musical, whatever. So they don't have time to go to local music studios or conservatories to take these lessons. So we brought the teachers to Lancaster Catholic to give the lessons. So we have instrumental lessons that are given by Mr. Murr, Mr. List, Mrs. Phyllis Drackley, who's also on the voice faculty at Elizabethtown College, comes in to do voice lessons. And Mr. Murr talked about Mr. Paris, who's a grad, and we're very lucky to have him. He's nationally acclaimed as our guitar instructor, and he runs our guitar ensemble as well. In courses, we've talked about all these, but now you can see them in front of you. Music theory and AP music theory. AP music theory doesn't necessarily have to be for someone who is going into music, but I'll tell you this much: if you have AP music theory, and after Mr. Adams is finished with you, probably you'll be able to test out of the first or maybe even the first 2 semesters of music theory in college. So it's pretty incredible that we have that at Lancaster Catholic. And he just started a survey of musical theater course, which is very popular. We have our American popular music, which we've had for the last several years, the history of rock and roll, music and films, which I actually, Mr. Murr and I share an office, so I'm enjoying that class myself when I'm in my office hearing all the film music. And the world drumming that Mr. Murr talked about as well. Mr. Adams talked about what he does with the Spring Musical Theater chorus, the chorus, the large chorus, the concert choir, which is our audition choir, the mass choir, and our Vox Pop a cappella group, which is very popular. And Lizzie told you about what you can get involved with the drama ensemble with the Spring Musical Theater and Fall Play. But we also, as part of our Fine Performing Arts group, Miss Kinsey, who's with our English department, also teaches acting courses, Acting 1, Acting 2, and dramaturgy courses. So it's something else that you don't get in every school. And for those students who say, you know, I would like to be involved in the musical, or I'd like to be involved in the plays, but I don't want to be on stage. There's lots of behind the scenes work that is done with building the sets. We get our students involved with all of these things. We bring professionals in to help, but we get our students involved because what we really want is for our students to go out into the community someday and to be involved in regional theater, be involved down at the Fulton Opera House, or volunteer with community theaters. And they can do that through Stage Crew. Like I said, they build the sets, they paint the sets, they work as the run crew with all the lighting, with the spotlights, running the lighting, running the special effects, running the soundboards. And we let the students do that. You can see that they're the 2 students that are working currently on the fall play right now with the special effects and the sound. There are Mr. Salden and Mr. Reiner are there helping those kids, but the kids actually run the show, which we are very, very proud of. Also very proud when I'm talking about that is that with our musical theater orchestra, when you go to a lot of schools, you'll see that there are paid professionals playing in all those orchestras, not at Lancaster Catholic. At Lancaster Catholic, our students are involved in all those shows, and that's another thing we are very, very proud of. Visual art, I already talked through this. We'll have our special night there. You'll see one of our grads, Rebecca Bammert, with her painting of Mr. Dick Russell, which looks like it's a photograph. It's incredible. If you saw that live, you would think that you're still looking at a photograph. But you can see all the courses that we offer there for visual art, but we'll have our special art night later, probably after Thanksgiving. And now you'll just see some photos of the different performing ensembles. Mr. Murr, Mr. Adams, anything you want to add that you didn't say before? Nope.
No, I'm good. Yeah,
I'm good.
yeah, the diversity of the program, and when you look at the alumni that have come through here and what they're doing professionally, we have players in the area, we have players in California doing movie scores, we have composers. It's a really quite diverse group of kids or not kids but adults now that have come through the program over the years.
You can also see the FPA honor societies that we have that we're very proud of at Lancaster Catholic. The Tri-M National Music Honor Society is something we started about 7 or 8 years ago. And in that short amount of time, those students have done a lot of work in our community. We've helped different organizations like Schreiber Pediatric, Mom's House. The last several years, we've been working with the Crispus Addicts program in the city of Lancaster, helping them with their music program that they offer there. And our students have raised quite a bit of money to help that program. And they also go out to do other things in the community within nursing homes or I'm sorry, they'd like to be called retirement communities. So we go into a lot of retirement communities and just also promoting music in our school. For years, you know, in schools you hear, well, oh, nobody really appreciates what the kids in the music program do, but they really do. But it's up to us to really promote that, and our Tri-M Music Honor Society really does that, and we are well supported, not just by our school board and administration, but our students and our faculty and staff really support, and they're very proud of what we have in our music program as well. And just 2 years ago, I believe it was, we started the International Thespian Society. I think, Lizzie, you talked a little bit about that, but you're a member of it. Do you want to say anything else about what you've done in that society, Lizzie?
Yeah, so our inaugural year last year was our first year to bring it to Catholic High, and now it's our second year. Last year I was our secretary, so I took all the notes and everything, but this year I'm the vice president of the club, and it's really offered a ton of, well, first you have to have like a lot of requirements to join. You have to have, I think it's over 200 hours, like 2 shows under your belt at Catholic High to even join. So it's like probably your sophomore year, junior year, you would probably get more involved, but talking to incoming, you would definitely have the opportunity to think about that at freshman year and doing your shows. But yeah, you have to have some requirements, but it definitely has offered a ton of opportunities. Like we've went to Sight and Sound, and we had a backstage tour of when they were doing Esther, I believe, right now. It's all wacky right now with COVID, but we went to a backstage tour, and it was really cool to like talk to some actors and then talk to some staff and everything. We went to the PA Thespian State Conference at York College. It was like 3 days in a row. We got up early. We went in one of the vans, and it was a ton of cool. It was really fun. We saw a ton of other high schools do performances, and we had like college professors teach us like little group sessions, and it was really cool to get their information. I think mine was like a Millersville teacher of music, and it was really cool to hear his point of things and then do little activities. So yeah, we just do a lot of like, we would see shows if we could, but it's different this year. But we do it. We do morning breakfasts about once a month, and we do our agendas and talk about things we can do for the school and how we can promote the shows for Catholic High and how we can just make performing arts better at Catholic. But yeah, it's a ton of fun. It's our second year, so we haven't really done a lot, but in the coming years it'll be up and running. So.
Thanks, Lizzie. One last thing I'd like to talk about before I turn it back over to Ms. Baumler. And speaking of a crazy year, we haven't been able to do this year, but we have a very popular concert and lecture series that we run. And there's usually at least one performance per month throughout the school year where we bring in professional musicians, where we feature our faculty and staff, or we feature our students. And it's really an opportunity for our students to hear different styles, varieties of music, and it's free for our students to attend. As a matter of fact, it's free for anybody to attend. We just take up donations after the concerts to help defray the costs. But we're excited when we can get that back up and running again too. If we're not able to have any live performances in the spring, we're definitely going to do some live stream performances. So I think after you hear all of that and everything we do, and a lot of this has been within the last 5 to 7 years, you can see why we are very proud of our Fine and Performing Arts program at Lancaster Catholic. So I guess I'll send it back over to Ms. Baumler.
Thank you, Mr. Brill. I am going to stop sharing my screen. Thank you. You gave us a ton of information. I know some other people on this call also are alums and benefited greatly from your programs that you set up while we were students there. I am extremely jealous of the program and what opportunities are there for students currently. I did not take advantage really fully of Lancaster Catholic's Fine and Performing Arts opportunities till my junior year, and I realized how much I missed out by freshman and sophomore year. And now I look at things like dramaturgy and acting courses available at a high school level. In the world we're in now, where arts programs are shrinking, Catholic High and Mr. Brill specifically and all of the great faculty have done an amazing job of growing the arts programs at Lancaster Catholic. We talk about at Catholic High the holistic type of education that we provide to students, and that includes the arts. That's the humanities and the arts. It's not just, the STEM classes and all of those things. A well-rounded person and someone that we want to put out into the world with the Lancaster Catholic diploma really has that kind of full experience, and the arts programs at Lancaster Catholic do allow for students to do that. I'm super jealous of the dramaturgy class. I was a history major and a theater minor, and the fact that there's a dramaturgy class in high school, that's like Yale MFA program stuff. Like, it's so cool that that's offered. Lizzie, I'm really jealous that you're in that class right now as a senior. You had raised your hand. Did you have something you wanted to add?
Yeah, I just want to say that dramaturgy is a really cool class, but also you can take it as an elective, like add it on, for, like have an English class and take dramaturgy, but I'm actually taking dramaturgy as my sole English class. So I think that's pretty cool to like not have to take another English class senior year if you really want to be in theater. I just thought that's a cool opportunity, but yeah, it's my senior English class, and I'm learning about plays and dramatic arts, so it's a ton of fun. And Mrs. Kinsey, like Miss Kinsey's a great teacher. She's the best. Like she's really into it. Like that's her baby. Like that's her class. So she's really put a lot of herself into like the plays and like what we learn. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's
so
a really.
The opportunity to take that class.
I think it's a really unique opportunity. I know, excuse me, I worked at another high school even just last year, and they didn't offer the breadth and depth of performance opportunities that our students get one-on-one. So I think if you're a musician, to the students who are on this call, or if you are a singer or you're a performer, this is a great place for you to really fulfill all of those passions. So no matter what you want to do, as Mr. Brill stated a couple of years ago, they kind of transformed the program into, we want to be able to meet everybody's needs. We want everybody that wants to be involved to be able to do that. And I think Lancaster Catholic offers that unique opportunity where it can be part of your classroom experience. 75 minutes of concert choir, I would have loved that. Every other day. I was very lucky to get Mr. Drackley every day for like 35, 40 minutes. But to have that, we do a collegiate scheduling model that allows for a 2-day rotation at 75 minutes. Talk about being able, and Mr. Murr and Mr. You guys all can kind of probably chime in, to be able to really get that much time with your instrumentalist or your vocalist or your ensembles in a class is amazing. So the collegiate scheduling model allows for us to do that, which I think is really cool. And that's not the same type of curriculum or same type of schedule we have at every school. So do you guys agree with that? I see heads shaking like, yes. Yeah, I think it allows, I saw the concert choir was in the chapel yesterday afternoon. I was on a tour and they were in the chapel singing, muffled through masks and 6 feet apart, but the sound was amazing. And
That was a private concert just for me.
I know, well,
didn't-
and actually somebody on this call was on that tour actually, so I'm not saying anything. They're not, they're with us, but not with us. And I said, Mr. Brill's in there somewhere because I saw you go in. It was really cool.
It was.
So we were standing outside at the chapel, but the fact that that's so cool that, we could just walk by that going to the restroom and you get to hear this beautiful sound coming from the chapel. We're very blessed that we have such wonderfully talented students, but also great faculty who help to hone those skills and pull that talent out of our students. Yeah. Any questions? People can pose them in the chat. You can unmute yourself and ask any questions. I know we like to talk and I like to talk. So we've chatted a lot, but is there anything else anybody wants to add? On every session, I've always asked the current students if they want to give any advice to our students about getting involved in FPA or whatever the thing is. Lizzie, do you want to give our 8th graders who are on this call any advice about, getting involved or anything you would tell your 8th grade self at this point?
Yeah, definitely don't hesitate getting involved. I was one to just go full force into everything, and I'm so glad I did. Vice president of my class, vice president of Thespian Society, just like executive director of Minithon, like just definitely put yourself in there, like get involved. Every club is honestly new members welcome all the time. Like just check morning announcements. We're making a video actually to like tell you guys about more clubs and stuff like that, so you can look for that soon. But definitely get involved. But also, let alone all the classes we have, there's so many more opportunities that like I've gone through at Catholic High. Like we had the New York trip and we went to go see a Broadway show. I've met a Broadway star that came and taught a class, or like they did a little session with kids from the musical, and we put it out to like fine and performing arts kids. We've, like Mr. Adams said, we've done the 12th night Christmas concert, and we went to church in St. Mary's in Lancaster and we sang songs, so that was really cool. But you also have the opportunity to do county chorus auditions. I did that and it was a ton of fun, just the experience itself, but then you can go on to district and states if you get in. We have stage combat classes, like a class when you're in the musical and there's like stage combat in the show. So if you want to do the musical just for that, it's a plus. But it was really cool. Like the New York trip itself, we had a ton of other opportunities, other outside of the classroom stuff.
One thing that
honestly,
we didn't,
sorry.
No, you're okay. I was going to ask you a question actually. That's one thing that Mr. Brill and Mr. Murr, Mr. Adams were saying, like there are things that you can do. You have to be in a class. You have to be in a class for some things, but some things like is open to anybody in the school. And that includes musicals and plays and drama. And then some of you like mass choir is anybody in the school or chorus is anybody. So it doesn't have to be that you've been doing this for years or, you've auditioned for shows before. Anybody can kind of, audition or just come and participate, correct? Lizzie, were you this, cultured and seasoned performer when you came to Catholic, or was it something you just kind of started doing once you were there?
Definitely not. I was definitely a shy freshman in the ensemble, but now last year I had a solo my junior year, and this year hopefully going for more. But you definitely grow as you come to Catholic, and you kind of have to like go through the ropes. You can't just start as some would start as a freshman, like as the star, but you definitely go through the rankings and everything. But like we said before, the adults said that there truly is something for everyone. Like there's so many ensembles, so many classes, so many performances, like so many different things. Like there is truly something for everyone. And it honestly is a really happy time of year. I know me and my friend Sheridan, she's actually performing right now at Macbeth, but like we look forward to the musical like every year. It's honestly a really key highlight of our years, and you just have so much fun with like all your classmates and just get so close with everyone. It's just so much fun. Like, oh, chills talking about it, but very excited for Little Mermaid and what's to come. But a really key part of high school is just getting involved and just making those memories and really not letting back and just seeing how far you can like let yourself like go when you push yourself hard enough. And I'm very blessed to be vice president of my class and just get to where I am now from just being in student council for 4 years, for being in Minithon for 4 years, just like making yourself up the ladder of like success. So it's really cool, but very excited to go on to college as well and just see where all these things have taken me from Catholic and what I've learned. So yes, get involved and just have fun. Don't stress too much. I know like freshman year, midterms, finals, I stressed so much, but it's all fine in the end. But yeah, get involved is the moral of what I'm trying to say.
Thanks, Lizzie. Well, if no one has any other questions, I'm going to go one last time for questions and then everybody's good. I don't see anybody moving to their keyboard or unmuting themselves. So, Mr. Brill, is there anything that you would like to wrap up to say, or are you good?
No, I think we've touched it all. Lizzie said it all when she said, whatever you do when you come to Lancaster Catholic, even if it's not getting involved with fine and performing arts, get involved in something, because those 4 years will go really, really fast, and you can't get those 4 years back. And there are so many people that wait till like their senior year to do something, and then they'll say, I wish I would have done this my freshman, my sophomore, my junior, my senior year. But you can't get those years back. So, it's very different when you go to college. You can get involved in those things, and you can get involved in community events like that are fine and performing arts, but it's very different. The high school is very different. So get involved. So we would, and we really work hard to keep everybody involved. Like students who try out for the musical. Sometimes we can't keep everyone, but we figure out a way to get them involved. Maybe they'll do stage crew for their freshman, sophomore year, and then be on stage their junior and senior year. Same thing. Mr. Murr will tell you, Mr. Adams will tell you, we will never turn anybody away from band or chorus. We'll get you involved. And Mr. Murr works with whoever wants to be involved with the rock band and the samba band. And so there are certain groups that are auditioned because they have to be, like the concert choir, but there are other ensembles to get involved with. So we will never exclude anybody. So you're always welcome in fine and performing arts.
I think we need to have some alum shows now that we're all getting old enough to have kids at Catholic High. I'm looking at Alicia Cowitz and Mrs. Hockley and Mr. Hockley and some of that. We're going to bring the parents back to play with and or sing or be on stage with their kids. So
There you
yeah,
go. Alumni show.
exactly, the alum
I
show.
don't know if that's a great idea.
I think we have to find the right person to direct it.
Yeah.
Are you going to do that number from Anything Goes, Angie?
I still have tap shoes, so that's all I'm going to say. I'm actually in my childhood bedroom right now where my son sleeps, and the tap shoes are in the closet. So absolutely. No, I thank everybody for joining us. I think that thank you for the wealth of information that was shared. I'm excited to welcome all of our new Crusaders next year to share their talents with us and to help us make our community fuller through the talents that you're going to offer and the passions that you're going to bring. So thank you very much to all of our participants. Oh, Lizzie's got the last word from Lizzie. Lizzie Winters, last word. Go for it.
If you come to Catholic and you do like the shows, I'll come back and watch. But also, like they said, like 4 years go by super quickly, and you're probably like, what? That's 4 years of my life. Like that's.
We lost your audio, I think, Liz. She's very animated, whatever she's talking about, but she's frozen and we lost her. I'm just gonna tell the moral of what Lizzie's saying is, don't be shy, take advantage of it, and it does go by quickly.
Like you would not see me doing anything.
Thank you, Lizzie. Your audio was cutting in and out, so we're good. Thank you, guys. I appreciate everybody joining us tonight. If you have questions, feel free to email me or Mr. Brill or one of the teachers directly. Everybody is really nice and is happy to answer questions. I'm not going to say go Redskins because even the I know
football team.
The Washington football team. I'm sorry. That's what I should say.
Uncle
right?
Tony, you know nobody's going to say that. Everybody's just going to call them the Redskins still.
Nice hat, Trey.
I'm going to shut down the reunion party that we're having.
Hey, the Birds are in first place. Go Eagles. Go Eagles.
I'm a Ravens fan. And on that note, thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Have a good night. Bye-bye.